Your characters need to be three-dimensional. A stock criticism, sure, but one you'll need to avoid hearing from a professional reader. Hi y'all, Hank from Write to Reel here. Personally, I didn't have a process, other than writing a character down and writing everything they were in a sentence or less. Since then, I've learned a few things by reading both pro and amateur scripts, mainly that my previous process might have been a bit on the lazy side. Naturally, this isn't a be-all, end-all list of questions, but if you get answers down for each of your characters, you're that much closer to where you need to be before you start writing. Question 1. How old is your character, and have they lived a full life? Since age is the next detail generally included when introducing a character in a script, it makes perfect sense to make this our first question. However, age often isn't enough. It's how they live those few to many years that makes all the difference. Perhaps your character is an old man who's near the end of his life, but never truly lived a day in it, having everything handed to him. Reverse of that, a young girl on the street who's barely even a teenager, but has seen and done things that some of us can't fathom, all just to live to see the next sunrise. The possibilities are endless, so try to flush as many details out here as possible. Question 2. What is the relationship to other characters? The more connections here, the better. As amateurs, we used very minor characters to fill short roles, where it might benefit the story to use a more established supportive character, weaving stronger strands that connect our narrative. A simple yes or no here isn't enough either. Is the information of the relationship known to other characters? Does only one character know of the relationship, while the others don't? Try to be as creative as possible. Maybe one character was the bully to another, and it's been 20 years or so, but the bully still feels guilty. This could lead to the bully favoring the other character in ways that causes tension with the rest of the cast. Using this question is a great step in creating drama and tension as you work through your plot. Question 3. Where was your character born? Is he proud of his roots? Is she trying to run away from her hometown? Who we are is very much dependent on where we came from. Maybe you have a fish out of water character who boasts each and every chance he gets of how proud she is of home. On the flip side, perhaps you have a character so scarred by a tragic incident in his hometown that he's repressed the memory and it's affecting his relationship with other characters. Question 4. What's the one thing your characters always wanted? Not only does your protagonist need a goal to make your plot work, so should your other characters. In fact, having other characters as goals be the complete opposite of your main characters leads to tension, which creates great drama. What makes your character tick? Is she a constant dreamer, hoping for that big shot at fame or to strike it rich? Do her goals include taking others with her? Or would he sell his own mother to get what he wants? Big or small, we should be able to look at each of our characters and understand where they want to be in life. Then it's our job as authors to allow or deny them that privilege. Question 5. How will your characters react when facing an ethical dilemma? Here's an example. Someone's being mugged down a dark alley. No one's around other than your character who just happens to walk by. Does she stop? This can be much more than a yes or no answer to. How do they reach the decision? Perhaps your character charges in, saving the day. Maybe he wants to help, but casually continues on his way, arguing he'd just make things worse. Explore all possibilities, then drive deeper into the question. Your character wants to help, so does she rush in, or does she take a step back and think through the options analytically? Question 6. What are your character's political views? Is your character Democrat, Republican, Independent, or some new and exaggerated future or past political party? Perhaps something completely new, where a faction in your story is all about apocalyptic situations and controlling them. Passive works here too, like them not having an opinion, or maybe they lean a certain way but don't get too involved. Is she boisterous about it, trying to convince each and every other character to accept her views? Or is he more mellow and accepts people regardless of whether they agree with him or not? Answering this question will most certainly lead to drama, and feel free to substitute religion in for politics. There's a reason most people don't discuss these things in public or at large at family functions, since it almost always downgrades into name-calling and or fistfights. This might be bad for Thanksgiving dinner, but great for story. That wraps up our list. And remember, the goal of answering these questions isn't to give you lots of exposition for your script, but for you to better understand your characters so you'll write their personalities into the story. This benefits both your plot and your reader. If you're having trouble answering all of these questions, or don't feel like you're doing it for one of your characters, that might be a good point to ask, do I need this character at all? Remember, this list is simply a starting point and should be fun. Because this is an evolving list, what are some suggestions for other questions? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm the first to admit I don't think of everything. And if you like what we did here, feel free to subscribe, like us, then come check us out at writetoreel.com. Lastly, write your butts off.